think I have to go get an x-ray of my foot.
Fuck, that sucks. Welcome to Cousin Closet.
Is that Harry Potter?
Well, no, I was trying to be mystical.
I know, but like, I feel like it gave Harry Potter, but I guess I've never seen it.
Well, one, I was just kind of being like a spooky ghost. Ooh. Two, you've still never seen Harry Potter? Still?
No.
Okay, so that's
Honestly,
bullshit.
I haven't
I know it's
seen
not your
it.
fault.
I'm like, let's unpack all of the shows and movies that I wasn't allowed to watch as a child.
That would be an interesting episode because you weren't allowed to watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch, were you?
Actually, I was, but I honestly think it's because I don't think my mom knew about it.
Okay.
She didn't want me to watch the Rugrats, which I don't understand that. That's So Raven.
The kids were like,
Were they
she
like
didn't want you to be
bitchy?
annoying.
I don't know.
Some of them were kind of mean. I guess Angelica was kind of a cunt.
Okay. Maybe that's why. But I'm like,
So you've
Mom,
still
did
never
you
seen
truly
it?
sit down and watch Rugrats and say no? Like, I literally don't know.
So you've never seen Rugrats in Paris?
No.
My God. This also does explain a lot about our personality differences,
Yeah.
you know? Because I think
Totally.
pop culture really informed a lot of my personality.
Yeah, whereas
And I don't
mine is
think
like dry as fuck.
No. Your personality, I feel, is just all yours. Where I feel mine is a
Oh.
conglomerate. In a way
Yeah.
that makes sense. Libra, Capricorn, like you are going to be grounded in yourself, and I'm
Yeah.
going to be relational. So it makes
Are you
sense
an
to
air
me.
sign or water?
Air.
Okay.
So I'm air, fire for my big three, and you are earth, water, fire.
She's balanced.
She's balanced, but you don't have a lot of air in your chart.
What does air mean?
Air is a masculine sign. Air is the mind. It's mental stimulation.
I don't feel like I'm very masculine, would you say?
I think you embody a masculinity that is subconscious in terms of a boldness that you go throughout life with, you know?
Yeah.
And like a no fuckery kind of
No
thing.
fuckery.
But I do think that you are ultimately quite feminine. You don't have any air in your chart.
Interesting. Wait, that's really
You
fascinating.
don't have any. Well, you're technically, so you're a Libra midheaven.
Okay.
I am also a Libra midheaven, which tells me basically that you present Libra. People see you as someone warm that they can approach and talk to, someone who can like make them feel peaceful, balanced, at ease.
Wait, I love that. I feel like I do well with that.
Well, and we both have a Libra midheaven, which makes sense because we both have a Sagittarius rising. So
yes. I was going to say, when you were saying that, it feels like it's very compatible.
Yeah, because I have a lot of air, you have a lot of earth, and then we both have that fire and water, the Sagittarius and the Scorpio, that really balance us. And
I'm really tired.
Hell, that makes sense to me. Wake up!
I know. I'm in my luteal,
Me
my
too.
loot, and I just...
I'm in my luteal, and I'm also in a cocoodial. Luteal, cocoodial. Should we just go ahead and get into outfits now that we're talking about
Yeah,
cocoons?
because I kind of want to just like, you know.
Yeah, okay.
We got to unpack this cape situation.
So Emily gave us the prompt mystical for our outfits today. And as a mystic, I did have to Google the definition of mystical today. I'm going to be honest. I was struggling. I was struggling to figure out what to do. I was thinking ethereal. No, not quite the same. Did change my outfit 1 minute before I got on camera.
Oh, okay.
I was originally in white, and it just felt too ethereal and not mystical enough. It didn't feel mysterious enough. So what did I do? I pulled out my cape. Wait. Okay, cape makes me sound like I'm a little boy. I threw on my cloak. Capes are for kids. Cloaks are for witches. I do think I need to like take off my headphones and put on the hood to start, and then I'll put them back on. Do I look like Hagrid?
Who the fuck is Hagrid?
Okay.
Wait, but now your hood's off.
Well, I did take it off because look at my hood over the headphones. I look like I have a fucking baseball head.
Like, actually, no, I think it actually gives you some good volume.
My head looks very big, Emily. It looks like I'm wearing a baseball cap under this and a wig or two, but maybe I can kind of like,
yeah.
Anyway,
it's cute.
Okay, so I did decide to go for my witch cloak, which I do use to do witchcraft sometimes when I'm by myself. I'll admit it. Okay, I admitted it. So I'm wearing my black velvet hooded witchcraft cloak. Underneath, I started with tube top, bubble skirt, little mini
Cute.
dress, but over the top, I layered this black lacy, sequiny
Well, you can barely see the
baby
sequins,
doll
but
tank.
every now and then
I've
it catches a little
Yeah, if I
glimmer.
twist a little bit, you'll get a little bit of a glimmer. And then on top, my long scrunchy boots.
You know those things.
That's my fit.
I
Simple.
love
Oh,
it.
and I have my
Simple,
rings.
cute,
I
classic.
did get a new ring recently that I would like to talk about. It was handmade. My friend Bailey's dad makes these beautiful rings.
Oh,
And I got this at a market where I was doing readings a couple of weeks ago. Again, shout out to Bailey. It was her market, Billy's Maker's Market.
cute.
And I've been wanting to get a ring from her dad for a long time because I really admire his craft. This one I loved because it has a really unique shape, but it also has these two parallel lines that I've always really resonated with, parallel lines. And I decided to just deck out my hands with all of my jewels, all of my crystals, so that I feel extra mystical and powerful.
It does give that vibe. I love.
Thank you, Emily.
It's simple, but also cunty at the same time.
Hey, thank you. You know that's what I strive for.
Yes,
Well, I won't say simple's always my goal, but anyway.
true. I feel like if anything, you love the
Accessories? Exce-
eccentric.
eccentric?
Eccentric. Wow, what the fuck? Okay,
Are you
couldn't say
meaning
that, but
eccentric or accessories or eccentric accessories?
eccentric, just that.
Yeah, I
I'm
feel like
gonna
it's
be
either going
honest,
to be completely basic or I'm going to be over the top.
totally. There's not a lot of in between, whereas I feel like I fall in the in between mostly. Like
Yeah, I think
pretty
you do lean more simple.
simple.
Uh-huh.
But if I'm my eccentric is balanced,
Your eccentric is balanced. It's true.
which is I think what my outfit is today.
Let's get into it. Tell me more.
Well, I'm actually really unsure. Can you see my nipples?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm going to be honest. If you scroll back, there's a few nipple shots, but I'm like,
You had your
okay,
pasties on.
no, there was one episode I didn't. And I literally see this.
Well,
We have a clip and it's like my straight up nipples out. And I'm like, okay, well, you could have imagined it. So it's just going to be there for you.
this is our tactic to get the cousins to go back and listen again.
to, to
To go
listen.
back and watch and be like, where's the nip? Let me catch the nip.
Yeah, a little
I'm
nipple
going on a
scavenger
nipple
hunt.
hunt. Yeah.
So I am wearing one of my favorite pieces of lingerie. It's a bodysuit that. So can we talk about, is wearing a bodysuit on a date something sexy? Because,
I didn't think so,
okay,
but I think so now.
okay, because it usually unbuttons, right?
Yeah. Does
Okay,
this one
that's
not
like a
unbutton?
typical bodysuit situation. This one actually doesn't unbutton. This
Does
one's
it
a
have a
full,
slit?
you gotta, no, you just kind of pull it
Oh.
to the side if you're really trying to get
Slip the
some
panties right to
access.
the side, ain't got time, take drawers off on sight.
Yeah, love it. Thanks, Jay-Z.
Oh my God, you knew.
I did.
That's crazy. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
So proud of you, Emily. Wow.
I think I know that whole rap. Okay, so went on a date, had sex, was wearing a bodysuit, but I was laying down, which I think put a little bit more pressure and elongation of the bodysuit. So when I unsnapped it, it was just like
boing, boing. Ricochet.
And it literally scared both me and the guy.
It whips him in the eye. He's blind. He has pink eye now. You're the one who gave pink eye on this date, not the doctor. You have to take him to the hospital. He has missing his eye. He gets a glass eye. Everyone says, why did you get a glass eye? He says, I got whipped in the eye by a bodysuit and it was worth it. Pussy so good, make me lose that eye.
I literally love your tism so much.
The stream of consciousness, if I literally opened my mouth and just let every word come out without filter, maybe I should just do a solo episode like that where I have no plan.
Actually, no, that would be so good.
I open
honestly.
my mouth and I'm not allowed to stop talking, and even if it goes into log cabin,
Let's
that's
be
what
real.
came
You would
to
just start
mind.
singing
Log
the whole
cabin.
entire episode.
Well, what if that was off the table?
Okay.
What if I had a time limit? Anyway,
Anyways, yeah, so that bodysuit situation was hilarious. I recognize that it was actually funny and sexy. I will say though, when I had to put the
love that Venn
bodysuit back
diagram.
on, it feels much less sexy. Like I was just standing in front of said man and was like strapping her in.
You're just like doing like a weird toe squat, like trying to get the snaps from not, you don't want them to snap your labia.
like tugging the girls in.
Yeah, it's like the adult version of having someone put on your helmet for you and you're like, "Ah, ta, 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 ta." It's like,
He
gotta make
just
sure I
helps
don't,
me.
no, gotta make sure I don't slip a labia. Cut that shit. Or
Anyways,
God forbid a pube gets involved. Wait, I have a question.
this is a different bodysuit. Love her. Yeah.
So sorry. So the other day when you asked if you should shave to go on a date, were you talking legs or were you talking bush?
Oh, I was talking legs.
Totally. So were you not, you had no bush? Trimmed?
Yeah, so I use like that, like it's like
An electric
electric
razor?
shave razor, right?
Yeah.
To where it's
Mm-hmm.
never like bald, but it's like
No.
pretty,
Yeah,
pretty.
me too.
So I feel like when I shave my cooch, I don't really mind if it's like got a little stubble. I don't
Me
really
too.
mind. Whereas my legs, I like to be smooth.
I do
Do you
too.
know what I mean?
I've been having a leg shave renaissance where I look at my legs and I'm feeling a little bit of dysmorphia when they're hairy, but I think it's just because summer's coming.
Yeah. Yeah. I just feel like I feel sexier and it's for me. It's not for any man. But I will say I did ask you guys that because I just don't know and I shouldn't give a fuck. And I
She checked in with the girlies and she said, third date,
do
second
I
date,
shave?
third date, do I shave? I said no immediately. My sister said yes.
And then I
did you
said
shave?
and I said no, I didn't shave.
Hell yeah. And then
Yeah.
you want to know what? It all still worked out in the bodysuit.
Totally. It was completely fine. This is my favorite bodysuit. Deep V, all lace, see-through, black, has these cute little hearts stitched into them. And then it is tucked into my roommate's pants that she wore to Coachella. They are black, kind of see-through a little bit with all of this intricate beadwork.
Beautiful. They're kind of like swirls,
Swirls and like
a
stars.
galaxy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not wearing any shoes because
It's totally fine, Emily.
either I broke my foot or I have arthritis and I'm unsure, but my whole body hurts and that's okay. I'm wearing these hoops as I always do, my classic hoops.
Pearl hoops.
My hair's straight. I wanted to wear my cute like burgundy-ish like red lip. Can't find it. Can't find my lipstick.
You know what? I think that this works for mystical. I think if you had the
Okay.
lip, it would be a little more glam.
Oh, okay.
But you look fabulous.
Thank you.
And I
feel
really like your hair
cuter.
straight like that.
Thanks. I feel like it's getting to the point where I'm like, is she long? Is she short? Does she know what she wants?
She's a lob. She's getting lobby.
I know. I think I need to go either shorter or just continue to grow it, and I can't decide.
I need a trim and I would like to re-dye my hair red, especially because I'm going to be on vacation for the next 2 weeks.
You need to. Did you also dye your eyebrows red?
No, but I use a red brow gel. It's like a kind of an auburny brow gel.
I know you were ovulating last episode. You looked so good. Like when I was posting those clips, I was
Thank
like,
you.
damn girl. Also, do you ever look at your face? Like I can see my face and I just by going through and looking at our like Instagram,
You know
and
what cycle
looking at
you,
my,
what part of your cycle?
I know what part of my cycle I'm on simply for my face.
I also do the same thing. I can recognize what year it was looking back at photos of me just based on my face and my makeup and my hair. Like yesterday, I went to go get my passport renewed, which I have had on my list for 4
So
years.
proud of you. You were very
Wait.
productive.
5 years. I had 3 appointments yesterday.
Wow, fuck yeah.
I woke
How did
up,
you
I
feel
had a
about that?
doctor's appointment. I got 2 cavities filled later in that day, which let me just tell you, all dentists should be gay people because that was such a better experience. And then I went all the way to Colville, Utah to get my passport renewed. My sister did come with me. Good thing, because I would have been absolutely lost, stressed, panicking without her. She is so good to me. Anyway, I had a lot of things to do yesterday. I had been meaning to renew my passport for 5 years. So when I looked at the photos, they were from 2021. The photos
Were
of
those
me.
your eyebrow days?
No.
We need to unpack that sometime.
Yeah, Brows Maddie was 2013,
16?
14.
Oh.
I would say like 14 was probably prime because I graduated in 13.
To be fair, we did take a hard left as a society from pencil thin eyebrows to now the expectation is for you to have
Sharpie.
these huge, bushy, massive eyebrows.
Well, now
It takes a long, like, that's a
thin brows are
curveball.
back. Thin
God
brows are
damn it.
back now,
Well,
and people are plucking. And you know what? I think a thin brow is beautiful. If I want a thin brow, I'm gonna block my brows and I'm gonna pencil it on. Just because I have never overplucked my brows and I never want to.
please
I
keep
used
your
to get made
eyebrows.
fun of them, and now I think they're one of my most defining features.
No, I love your eyebrows. I'm sad that I don't have as defining eyebrows as you, but I digress.
I like it. I think they look good on your face.
Thank
The whole
you.
point of this was basically the photo that I took for my passport was from 5 years ago. I could not be bothered to take another one, so I used it. And you know what? I could tell by the shape of my face that it was before I had come out and before I had left the church.
You had 5 pounds of stress in your face, yeah.
Well, yeah, I can just see looking back that there was a lot I was holding on to in my body that was not mine.
I get that.
Anyway, that was a long tangent, not necessary to continue on that. Do you have any laundry list items you want to get into? Because I got a few.
I have a few as well. I just have a bone to pick with the fact that I keep texting people and trying to say also, and my phone corrects it to ALS.
So, ALS. I was wondering when I saw ALS in the note, I was like, what does she have to say about ALS? I'm kind of scared.
No, it's genuinely something I want nothing to do with, but it
The disease?
No, as in, like, I don't want to have it. I will
For
be an
sure.
ally for those that have it. I just don't want to have it, you know?
Remember
Knock
the
on
ice
wood.
bucket challenge?
Yeah, that's not talked about enough.
Everyone's just walking
Like-
around dumping ice on their head.
Like, us as a society are like, oh my God, you have a disease? Let me throw ice on you. Like, so
Again?
interesting. I mean, honestly, it did raise a lot of money. So
All right, bitch.
I have 3 qualms with dating.
Tell me.
Okay.
Only 3?
Just what I wrote. Okay. Everyone that is hot on a dating app
Mm-hmm.
is fucking Christian and or moderate. And I'm like, if you say that you're politically moderate, conservative, apolitical, that tells me you hate humans. And I just can't fuck with that. Literally.
I'm going to be honest. I think that because of the way we are attracted to different kinds of people, I don't think the Christian type is what stands out to me as hot, but I completely understand.
It's like the
I
athlete.
know
We
your
talked
type.
about this.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know your type. I know the archetype, and it could very easily be conservative finance bro on accident
Listen,
who used to play sports.
I did try, and they still talk about it to this day.
Those were the glory days.
Yes.
Oh,
I did
man,
try and
when
give
I had
your
that
type.
ball between my hands, I really putting that ball between my hands, tossing that pigskin. I've never felt so alive in my life.
Nathan Scott, James Lafferty, if he reached out to me today, I would say, I don't even believe in marriage yet. I'll marry you.
I do love Nathan Scott.
He's so hot. Okay. I
Guys.
did try and give your type or like more like tatted musician, maybe like Scorpio-esque, like
Grungy.
biker, grungy guy. a
Biker?
try.
I'm like, ladies and gents, hop on a motorcycle, a Harley Davidson with your assless chaps, and then you'll be on my radar.
Listen, I think it would be hot taking a ride on the back of a guy's motorcycle. So if you're out there,
I think that
Let me
could
know.
either be hot or like the thing that makes me want to vomit more than anything else in the entire world.
There's no in between.
No in between.
Okay, but I do need you to add a slide to the dating deck with
For your
this-
most recent date.
Yeah, that was 45 minutes long because I have never been so confused in my
Bored.
life. Their bio was like, love curiosity, love to laugh, love to banter, love to... I knew within 30 seconds of this date that I needed to get out.
Tell him the excuse you used at the end to get out of it.
I needed to go study anatomy.
Oh, I thought you told him you were allergic to guacamole. And that
No,
was
I
how you
started
ended the date.
No, I started the date with that. I said
To try to
'cause
get
we
out
were-
early.
No,
or-
because we were ordering tacos, and usually that's a bit
Are
where
you
people
actually
are like,
allergic to guacamole still?
yeah, Avocados,
Okay,
yeah,
avocados are
very.
still on the list. Okay, so I
Yes.
thought you were making that up.
No, 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 no. And I told him that I'm allergic to avocados, which usually yields like a pretty dramatic response of like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it. How are you alive today?" And I just say, "Yeah, like let's take a moment of silence." This man just goes, "I don't know how to respond to that."
Oh,
And I was like, "Oh,
you're like, well,
okay."
I don't know how to respond to you ever. In
Yeah.
any in any
I have
sentence you've
I
said to
when I
me.
tell you that I was fighting for my life, he was so weirded out the fact that I was born in December instead of January, to which I replied, "Are
What?
you into astrology? Like, is that something that just like really impacts you?" And he's like, "No."
Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. So confusing. And then somehow we get on the fact that he's a Taurus, and he's like, "Yeah, someone the other day told me that Tauruses are really sensitive." And he's like, "I'm not fucking sensitive." And I was like, "Okay,
Okay,
well, like
bullheaded Taurus.
you could be like that's totally fine." I don't know if I would say Tauruses are sensitive. I don't know, but I feel like I think of them as more like stubborn or sarcastic. I'm not the astrologist. But that's just what I've been told or feel. And then he just was like, I don't know." And I was like, "Okay, do you not know yourself?" Verbatim. I just was like, this is so
You
fucking
had
weird.
to ask. You
And then
had to
he was
ask.
like, well, maybe I just don't want to admit it. I literally, you guys, we finished up our tacos. I physically grabbed the plates and threw them away to signal, I'm done here.
I'm done here.
I need to go.
I'm
It
done
was
here.
so weird. I was laughing so hard. I was like, sir, like lived in my same neighborhood for 30 years and did not have one place to recommend for me to go. Like
Oh, in San Diego.
anywhere.
Yeah, that's
It was
really that's you
so
gotta
weird.
have some duds. If
I
you think about the amount
yeah,
of people that you're going out with, there have got to be. I actually remember
I was due for a
one of
dud.
my sister's therapists. She like created an algorithm to figure out how many people, how many dates she would need to go on percentage wise to like funnel down to the kind of person she would want to be with. And I believe she followed through with her algorithm and did end up meeting someone who became her husband.
Getting married.
But I would like to ask Lindsay more about that because this was years and years and years ago.
Yeah, I'm
And
really
I do
curious
still
too.
remember.
I just feel like I need to message this guy and say, hey, like, thanks for the 2
Hey, you're
tacos.
boring. You're
You
boring.
need to really update your Hinge profile because it is not reading what you are
Putting down.
giving.
Yeah.
So that was that.
Was that with Christian boys or was that another qualm with dating was just bad?
No, I was just telling you that like I tried to give another
Oh, I
type a
understand.
chance
Yeah.
and it didn't work out.
Didn't work out.
I have a qualm with men's photos on dating apps. I think
Of
that I
course.
would like to create a tutorial and say, listen, I think we have more to work with. I don't think you're actually giving yourself the benefit of the doubt. I actually think I could make money on this. Should I start?
No, this is what I was just thinking. I'm like, I feel like there could be a business in this for us.
Okay.
Think about our strengths. Okay.
Yeah.
Your frankness, my diplomacy. Okay.
Your creativity,
Your
my
managerial
logistics.
skills.
Yeah.
What we can help people. And it doesn't even have to just be men, but men do be needing the most help.
Yes.
And maybe we can filter it by like men who deserve our time and not like gross men. Like if you are
100%.
conservative, you don't get to work with us, you know?
Mm-mm.
But like you come to us consultants. We are dating app consultants. I actually think
Yes.
that this would be a solid deal.
So let us know. And then last but not least, why have I had several dates where men just loosely use the word pussy? And I don't like that word. And because I think it is derogatory towards women. And I just literally don't understand why it is thrown around on a first date.
You know what? I hear you. I feel like I say pussy a lot, but that's because
You're a woman.
through my lesbianity, it has been reclaimed.
Mhm.
Lesbianity, lesbianism,
Mhm.
lesbianamorph, and lesbianamorph, and that's me
Yeah.
transforming. I
Yeah.
think that I have reclaimed the word pussy because it used to gross me out a ton, especially from men.
So now if you encounter a man that says it though, you think it would feel empowering? You know what I mean?
I'm not going to like this at all. I'm not going to like this at all.
No, it's funny. I feel like the word cunt has gotten a rebrand where it feels like powerful. If someone called me a cunt, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I
Thank
am.
you.
Yeah, I would absolutely. So, and I feel like maybe like a few years ago, that would not be the case. Waiting maybe for Pussy's rebrand. But for right now, it just
Maybe
feels
we
like,
need
oh, actually.
maybe we need to rebrand pussy ourselves.
Okay, put that
You
on
know
the
what?
list of
You know who is?
things.
I'm thinking of. I didn't know it was your pussy palace, your pussy palace. Did you listen to the Lily Allen album that came out last year? She has a
No,
song called Pussy Palace, where she
I
basically talks
started.
about walking into David Harbour's sex lair and discovering he was a sex addict.
Hmm. So
Don't
I
trust
started
him.
listening to it because didn't she write that album going through or post-divorce? Yeah,
Hmm.
I started. I'm really bad at listening to new music because I love to sing along to songs
I
and my
understand.
impatience gets the best of me. And then when I find a song that I like for instance, I'm trying to listen to Noah Kahan's new album,
Hmm.
21 songs of like
I
his,
can't get into him.
yeah,
That's okay. Continue.
it's okay. It's fine. I will find a song and then I have to listen to it on repeat for several days and then I can't listen to the rest of the album. And it feels like I can get like one album drop every quarter for
Hmm.
an artist that I like or
Hmm.
artists that I like, plural, because
Hmm.
my tism
Hmm.
really struggles too.
Well, it's very ADHD of you. Interest
Yeah.
led thinking, needing the dopamine of understanding it, being able to sing it, verbally process it. I understand. And I
Yeah.
relate in a lot of ways. I go through phases where I am up for new music, and then I go through phases where I'm like, absolutely not. Like, I just saw on Spotify today, they gave me my most, like, listened to songs of all time, whatever. The number
Oh,
one is Graceland 2 by Phoebe Bridgers, a song that makes me sob, a song I love to listen to in the car, in the shower, on an
I'm gonna put
airplane.
that. What is it?
Graceland 2. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense that I have listened to this 200 times because this song makes me feel.
I'm trying to think of what the equivalent of that for me is.
Perfect Day by Hoku. Sun's up.
I
It's
would
a
say
little after 12.
I was gonna say Matilda is up there
Oh,
for me of like the
are these just like very
sad
telling of
songs.
our wounds?
Yeah, or you know what song made me, I don't know if you know this song, but To Build a Home. It's like it's like an orchestra, but literally listening to that when I was going through a divorce
Yeah.
was really hard. Also, that's something I would love to unpack after we get to your list items.
Okay. First things first. Yesterday, I met a girl named Maddie, also Madison, spelled DDY, like me, also a
Yes.
Libra, has the same birthday as my dad. Isn't that interesting?
That is so interesting. With
Because
each
I had
detail that you
met,
just told me, I was like
I know, me
taken
too.
aback.
I kept being shocked because I had met her friend last week. She had told me, "Oh, I have another friend named Maddie. I wonder if you'll get to meet her." So I did last night. She was like, "I'm Maddie. I'm Maddie." And I said, "DDIE?" She said, "DDY." I said, "Me too." I said, "Hmm." And then we kept talking and I realized she was a Libra. And then when I asked her birthday, I was like, "You have got to be kidding me. That's my dad's birthday." So that was
And you're like, "He's
interesting.
dead." And she was like,
Oh, and I already told them
"Sorry."
that because they
Oh,
were asking me about my career, and I was like, I'm an astrologer. They're like, how did you get into that? I was like, I used to do advertising. My dad died. My life fell apart, and I decided to quit everything that wasn't making me fulfilled. And
yeah.
now I'm pursuing astrology because it's something I'm passionate about, and that's how the zodiac signs came up, etc.
I
Two
love.
Libras. The other girl there was a Taurus. Two Libras, two Tauruses. What do you know? Anyway, just a sweet little Brett poppin'. Also today, this
Him.
squirrel was losing its mind, just like
Mm.
doing laps right next to me. So I just put my little hand down. It came so close. It was so cute. It's it has it was so cute. I have not had that much time with a squirrel that like face to face like that in a while. It was so cute and just like
They are really cute until they make your dogs go crazy and then you fucking hate them.
Well, you see, I don't have dogs, but I do have a dead dad, and that's one of the ways he shows up.
Okay, I'll try
So,
and remember that next time and say, "Britt, give me a
yeah.
little space."
So, the next thing I want to say is that today I was driving down a relatively busy road. It wasn't a highway, but it was a busy road
Okay.
downtown.
Okay.
I'm parked at a stoplight. I see cruising through the intersection a man on an electric scooter. Okay, that's normal to see in downtown.
Yeah.
Morning commute, whatever. Holding a leash with like a fucking chihuahua leaping, bounding, practically being dragged by this electric scooter through the busy intersection. Like, I have never seen a chihuahua catch so much air. I was so afraid that it was going to rough and tumble. I'm like, this guy is going
Why
15
doesn't he
miles
just
per
hold
hour.
it? Like, if
And
it's
that
a
tiny
chihuahua.
dog, exactly. I guess his dog needed exercise. Maybe his dog did something wrong and he's punishing him.
I'm
It was-
laughing, but I also feel
No.
horrible.
So then I texted my siblings about this, and then my sister-in-law replied and was like, okay, so I did have to listen to this 4 times because I was picturing a Vespa and very concerned. It's like practically just like the little plastic action figure that Napoleon Dynamite ties to a string and throws out the school bus window. Okay, and finally, the last laundry list item I have also has to do with my sister-in-law. I was in New York a couple of weeks ago because my brother and sister-in-law just had a new baby a couple of months ago. So I went to spend time with them, with their new baby, and also with my nephew, who is about to turn 3 this week. And he goes to school every day. He's very intelligent. He comprehends what's going on. You can't really let a lot slip past him. Like, he'd be correcting everyone, and he's always right. He also, you know, like any child, will get FOMO. He wants to hang out. He wants to be in town, especially when Mimi's there. He wants to have fun.
We love some Mimi time.
So I was asking my sister-in-law, Mackenzie, so what's the schedule for tomorrow? And she tells me, we walk Shiloh to school at 8:30, and we drop him off, and he has school all day. And then we take Salem to baby school. And I didn't think twice. I was just like, oh, okay, kind of weird. He's 3 months old, but okay. Maybe that's that New York lifestyle. So I just kind of roll with it. And then a little while later, I'm like, so does Salem have baby school tomorrow? I'm so serious. And I'm like, so does Salem also have baby school tomorrow? Like, I'm just trying to plan my days and like wondering if I should like be around or, and she's looking at me like, what are you talking about? And Shiloh's still sitting there. And I'm like, does he go all like, is it the same amount of time? Is Shiloh's
what is he
school
learning?
like full day?
Is he gonna learn the alphabet tomorrow, or like what's on the curriculum?
Learning how to latch a nipple? Like, what's he gonna do? Learn how to not go cross-eyed? Did you just dinosaur burp? So I'm like,
I wasn't sure if it picked up, but yeah, I hope the
It did.
was there.
So I'm like, baby school. So I'm like, yeah, what time is baby school? And she looks at me like, girl, and it hits me. There's no baby school.
There's a baby, but no baby school.
There's a baby, but no baby school. That's what they have to tell Shiloh so that he doesn't feel left
have
out.
FOMO.
But I did not think twice.
She's like, yeah,
About
they're gonna
baby
learn
school.
the quadratic formula. It's gonna be perfect. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. You have to teach them young.
So yeah, this is why everyone always called me gullible growing up. But you know what it was? It was autism.
To be fair,
It's taking it
honestly,
seriously.
okay, I
have to take my cloak off. I'm too hot.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I love the type of parents that Alex and Kenzie are. Absolutely.
Well, they're
And
city parents.
They are city parents. And I feel like, and this is a compliment, but I feel like how do I say this? It doesn't feel that far off.
Right. Like
of just being like, hey, I'm going to immerse my kid and get them to...
Not even 3 months old. Wait,
okay.
February to March,
Maybe
March
this
to
is
April,
a stretch.
April to May. He's not even 3 months yet. So this was on me. This was on me because she was looking at me like another adult in the room who was trying to have a code word. And that's when I knew. Yeah, actually, no, I've known this for a while, that my 3-year-old nephew is smarter than me.
Is he a Pisces?
He's a Taurus, but he's a Pisces moon and a Libra rising.
Right.
Beautiful. Venus ruled, but also his son's ruled by Venus. He's so delicious. But my new nephew, Salem, is a Pisces, who you'll get to meet next month.
Yes, I'm so excited to meet them.
I cannot wait. I'm going to Dominican Republic next week with my siblings.
Yes.
All I can think about is seeing his little head in a little donut. You know, when they put the donut around them and then their head's just floating in the pool.
Yeah.
That's all I can think about.
I love that for you. It's gonna be so much fun, and I'm so glad that you guys have, like, a little family trip.
We are all going to New York for Shiloh's birthday this weekend,
Yeah.
and
Why not tack on the Dominican Republic?
well, it's like
That's what I think.
it's pretty cheap to get there from New York.
Oh,
And
okay.
Lindsay and Chase were wanting to do something to celebrate Chase's birthday. We've got a ton of Tauruses in the family. May is a
I don't know what
pact.
is up with, like, May and Taurus and, like, this season, but, like, there's something about it.
I feel like there's something ancestral regarding Taurus and
I keep
Taurus
attracting
energy.
Tauruses. It's really weird, but I guess I welcome it. If you could
Anyway,
describe a Taurus, sorry,
no, no,
in
no, hit me.
3 to 5 words, or just, like, what's their essence? What's their, like,
So it's gonna be tough
core.
for me to do 3 to 5 words, but I'll try to do it in under a minute. Does
Okay,
that
that's
work?
better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my little stopwatch, so I'm gonna start in 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. So Taurus is an earth sign. Earth is
Yeah.
feminine. Taurus is ruled by Venus. So Venus is the planet of love. It's innately loving. Taurus is the
Mm,
second sign in the zodiac. So it's after Aries, which is initiation, the beginning. Taurus is like, okay, now that we've begun, like we're going to get into our body. Taurus is
mm,
material things. Taurus is money, self-worth, values. Taurus is represented by the bull. A lot of times people kind of reduce Tauruses to being stubborn, which I think is a quality of Tauruses because they do know what they want. They do know what they
mhm,
need. They're Venus ruled. And rather than it being Venus ruled in the way Libra is, which is relational, they're Venus ruled in individuality. So very grounded in
mm,
their senses, ruled by their senses, very much so sensual and connected to that experience of feeling.
okay.
And that's Taurus.
Wait, love. Okay. It's very interesting. I feel like
There's so much more I could say, obviously, but
I'm really trying to be more mindful of each of the signs and not just pinpoint it to, like, 1 or 2 words because of the fact that I do think it's a lot more
nuanced.
broad, and I also feel like when I do meet new people, it is very informative, and so
Mhm.
trying to, like, have that integrated in the way in which I perceive people, but also having, like, a balance of it.
When I started doing readings for people, that was something that was really overwhelming for me because I was struggling to not feel reductive with everything I was sharing or
Mhm.
struggling to feel like I wasn't doing enough or doing things justice. But
Yeah.
I've realized that that just comes with time. You know, the more
Mhm.
exposure you have to Taurus energy or to any of the signs, the more information you learn, the more experiences you have. And also tapping into my intuition when I'm doing readings so that it's not like I need a fire hose to you what Taurus is, but really
Yeah.
reading that person's energy and figuring out what aspects of Taurus are you. And
Yeah.
especially in relation to your moon, your rising, the other planets and the luminaries, how these all intersect, that's going to
Yeah.
inform which parts come alive and which parts are more quiet, etc.
Yeah.
And that's why I think pop astrology gets such a bad rap and
Mm.
is seen as silly, like just a silly horoscope that is trying to simplify everything into one little sentence when really there's
Yeah.
so many layers to astrology, so many layers to a birth chart. I, again, think most people don't even know their rising sign. To me, that's the most important and indicative sign in astrology.
I mean, I think it's really interesting that, like, for instance, my rising sign matches even, like, my human design, like
Mm-hmm.
Sagittarius, like fire, joyful, gregarious,
Adventure,
adventure, and then human design
independence.
bringing joy to others
Mm-hmm.
through my Sagittarius writing. It's cool when you can see how they complement one another, you know?
Well, and the more that I know and the more that I trust my knowledge and wisdom and
Mhm.
intuition, the more I recognize that I do experience readings and astrology in 3D in a way. I picture in my third eye the circle. When people are talking, a lot of times, if I'm familiar with their chart, I can see different parts of their circle lighting up in different colors based on what they're saying or doing,
Cool.
showing me kind of what parts of them are being presented at that point.
Mhm.
And that's also been really interesting for me to see. Like, we are not just one thing, we are the product of so many different parts of ourselves, so many of which we choose to ignore or choose to villainize, some that we choose to put on a pedestal, whatever it
Yeah.
may be. And I love astrology to be able to dig in and see the nuance because nothing is ever as it seems. Exactly. And
Yeah.
on that note, I would like to ask you to dig under the surface. You've shared a lot about this experience of divorce and how right now in your life you're thriving, you're happy, you're confident. It's
It is
almost
a year.
exactly a year since you asked your ex for a divorce. I want to know how you're doing, how your thoughts on divorce have changed, how your feelings about you have changed, and like what is going on under the surface as well beneath all of this excitement and joy and newness and expansion.
Yeah. Okay, so I hit a year on Sunday from the date that I asked my ex for a divorce. And I will say, I think I feel a little disappointed in the fact that I'm having a really busy month. I've got 2 weeks of 3 classes overlapping. And then I'm also just trying to just live my life and date and have community and try new things and all of these
You're
different
also
things that I just
massaging
feel like,
all the time for
yeah.
practice,
And then doing
for
this pod, and it's
hours.
like, yeah, so it's just I feel overwhelmed, and I think it was very interesting that the year mark happened during my luteal phase, and if you're new to this
Hmm.
pod, I think we're both working on remaining and becoming even more in tune with our cycles and the way it informs our
Realities.
experiences. Initially, I was like, I want to do a divorce party. Like, I want to go to the beach. I want to take mushrooms. Like, I want to just
Go all
be,
out.
just go all out. And then I was having a hard time with my executive function of actually inviting people, planning things, getting everything. And then it ended up the weather not being great. I was like, okay, we can do something chill where we grab wraps and go to the beach and just lay out and just whatever. And then the weather was bad. I was in my luteal phase. And honestly, I was kind of, I think it was probably subconscious because I wasn't acutely thinking, oh, it's been a year. You know what I mean? Honestly, I think the day of, I actually kind of forgot it because I, again, was
Just
I think
kind of
I was
nice
yeah, totally.
that
I
it's
think
not
that's such a
looming over
blessing.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got to the point where I really do, and I always will identify as a divorcee, and it comes up, but it doesn't come up in the way of thinking about my ex or thinking about my marriage. It's more so thinking about how that informed who I am today.
Hmm.
But it wasn't I feel like I'm not just saying this, I still feel like I'm very happy, and I can have moments in which I'm reflect and have just this maybe heaviness. I don't know, but I think
Hmm.
holistically, I do feel so proud of myself. I was talking to one of my classmates and we were talking about just our family life. And the other day I was referencing confidence and she was like, oh, like you. And so she was just calling out my
Like
confidence.
using you as an
And
example of confidence.
yeah, and I was
That's
like, "Hey,
beautiful.
I was like, "Hey, I forgot to actually tell you how much that meant to me the other day because a year and a half ago I would not have identified with that." I think I've always when I am gregarious or in the past when I am vocal, I feel like I would be vocal, but internally I would be like, "Oh my god, was that too much?" Blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
And I feel like that's not how I am. I'm presenting more so authentically myself these days, and I
Hmm.
don't question it and I'm just like, "Yep, this is who
I
I
dig
am."
Gav.
And I'm
Yeah.
just, yeah, and I love that about myself. It was really interesting. I was telling Maddie that it seemed as though a lot of people responded well to our first divorce episode. I
Yeah.
think it is something that a lot of people are dealing with, whether or not it's acutely they're in the process, they're
They're thinking
have
about it.
navigated it, or they're thinking about it. I just feel like the construct of marriage is just a lot of people are having this awakening to holy shit, this is something that I actually have. I mean, it's true. For the first time ever, women actually have somewhat of an autonomy to actually decide, is this for me versus, oh, this is just expected. This is how I am able to sustain myself. This is
Yeah.
what I'm supposed to do. This is part of my identity. So it's really beautiful, but it also is clunky and challenging and can be obviously so painful. And obviously, I'm so used to that in the sense of, it was not the easiest thing to do, asking,
Totally.
someone that you were with for 6 years, married for about 3, to get a divorce. I mean, it's funny, so many of us, it takes so long to actually get to that point to get a divorce.
The point of
So
making that
many
choice.
people, women specifically, by the time that they say that they want a divorce, they've been checked out for years. Like they stay in the
Yeah.
marriage when they've been checked out for probably longer than they would have liked, you know? But I remember when I was asking for divorce, it was so hard for me to even get the words out. Like I've never had such a visceral response to, I can't say this, like this.
Like feeling the restriction on your throat.
Yeah, to the point where I said, I think I want a divorce. And then I remember, if you're not familiar, I think you are, with Brene Brown. She has a phrase that's clear as kind. I think it's Brene
Mm.
Brown. And I was just like, in my mind, I was like, wait, that was not clear. And I really want to be like definitive and firm for like both of us. And I just was like, I want to take that back. Like, and I want to be extremely clear. I want a
I know
divorce.
what I want. I know what I need.
Yeah.
Which,
And
do you feel like that was the first major time in your life that you spoke what you needed in a radical way that felt bigger
yeah.
than you?
Yeah. And I think that that was like, I'm sure other people resonate, whether it's a divorce or maybe another big life decision. Once you do that, it just creates this like rhythm and this like just waterfall of making decisions for yourself. I
Yeah,
mean,
ripple effect.
yeah, ripple effect is kind of what I was thinking. I asked for that, and then I was able to call out my needs in the relationships with my family. I was able to call out my needs with my relationship with my best friend. I feel like even too, like then I was able to feel like I could have like unique experiences like the mushroom trip where I could have
Mhm.
like the autonomy of just trying something new and being okay with that.
I feel like even with the pod, you've been able to like stand your ground
Yeah.
in your place in this
Yeah.
without expecting too much or too little of yourself, or even putting
Yeah.
like expectations in general on yourself, allowing yourself to let this be a creative choice and also
Yeah.
something that like we are sharing between us, but also sharing differently and
Mhm.
being comfortable with that. Like we
Mhm.
never would have been able to do that 10 years ago. We would
Oh,
have
not even a
been
year
fighting.
ago.
No, we would have been fighting over or like getting our feelings hurt over like whether or not the other person was doing more or less or whatever it
Yeah.
may be. There's just no way that past versions of us, and not to make this about me, but
No.
I see that fire in you and I understand what you mean by once the switch goes on, there is a ripple effect. I felt that actually when I broke up with my ex 6 years ago. That was the first time that I said, I'm opening my mouth and I'm speaking what I need, and I'm not going to settle for treatment that
Yeah.
I don't deserve. And I do recognize now how it has been a cascade of claiming authenticity.
I do think that was a huge ripple effect. And I mean, I feel like even in the way that you experience your sexuality and allowed for that to ebb and flow.
Well,
And,
everything is just evolving.
but I also think that you and I don't know, I think that and this is maybe going to sound vain, but I do think you and I allow for the evolving to happen more than I feel like the average Joe. You know what I
It's
mean?
all
I
the
think that we
Scorpio.
both have like,
We're
yeah,
wired.
we
We
have
are
this lens
wired
of
for
like
transformation.
curiosity and transformation. Yeah, exactly.
And also the Sagittarius rising of like, we need to expand, we need to learn, we need to grow, we need to do so in
The
the way that makes the sense to
adventure,
us and is
change. Yeah.
going to be expansive and allow us to see the world with greater eyes. And then we also
Yeah.
have the Scorpio depth that's like, I'm not going to half ass this. I
Yeah.
am going to go all in.
Yeah.
And that looks like a lot of looking yourself in the asshole and crawling through over and over, over and over, Ouroboros.
I'm like, I know my asshole so
And
well.
on my asshole. Anyway, I want to get back to talking about how you're
No, you're
feeling.
fine. I was just kind of talking about like all of these decisions that I feel like I was able to make that have really, I don't know, I want to be really mindful in the fact that like, you know, if people are just seeing this from now and seeing the perspective of the fact that I was divorced, like it was not always rainbows and daisies. Like it very much was. I feel like I had like a really hard 9 months of just
Loneliness,
loneliness, isolation, questioning myself.
reckoning.
Yeah, just feeling probably like one of the lowest times I've, ever felt naturally. But I do feel like choosing more for myself and then also creating this platform where I can self express and externally process. I think that this in itself has been so helpful. This like non judgmental platform. I mean, people are going to judge me for sure.
No, but
But
there
I
being
also feel
space
like,
between you and I to share whatever we need to. And yes,
yeah,
that's going
like
out to the internet, but
this is for no one other than ourselves.
we would be doing
And
this even if no one was listening. And I know that because almost no one is listening. Not for
But
long.
again, we've always said that, like, even if, like, when what we say is, like, impacting one person, like, I would do this, like, I would double down. But again, like,
Even if it's
I
just
think
helping
that's
us.
yeah, and, like, that's, I think, what, like, the intent was, right? I think it's helped build our relationship, it's helped our family, it's helped the way in which we see the world, like, it's been so cool. But again, it has not always been I don't know, it's so funny, like, I look back to, like, the girl that was in, like, the first episode, the first, like, 1, 2, 3 episodes of the pod, and I'm like, "Who the fuck is she?" Like,
Yeah, I
it's
feel the
so
same way.
weird how I feel like we have just
Evolved.
grown so much in this and evolved, and I feel just really proud. I kept saying this and I knew this, that I just could not wait to get to the year mark of, like, not experiencing a new first again. People always
Totally.
say that, like, "Oh, it's my first of
First
this
Christmas, first
holiday," or
anniversary,
like, yeah,
first, yeah.
exactly. And I feel like that just feels like such a breath of fresh air, have that behind me. And again, I will always identify as a divorcee, and because that's such an influential experience, my marriage was such a huge, I'm going to say, chapter. And I actually really do want to do a pod on marriage because I do want to dissect my thoughts on marriage. I actually had a really good conversation with your sister and brother-in-law about it, about how, and part of me was like, okay, yeah, I'm like totally jaded from this, but I also feel like I'm really drawn to people that have multiple chapters within their life. And I think that's what was like making me feel suffocated, is that I had signed up for this life that was like one huge large chapter that was just like the rest. So again, my Sagittarius rising was like freaking the fuck out, and also it was again not a compatible partner, so that's also a huge thing to it.
Mhm.
But I just feel like we are so dynamic, and we're taught to follow this framework of a lifelong partnership. But I feel like it's really made me challenge, do I believe in that? Or do I feel like there is a person or a collective of people that can allow you to champion yourself for a chapter of life? And then sometimes you close that chapter and some people move on to the next and some people don't? But I don't know.
100%.
I feel
I
like
think that's
I
the
would
much
like to talk
healthier
about,
perspective on
yeah.
relationships. Because I too have been reflecting a lot on my relationship with relationships and
Mhm.
recognizing what I want and need versus what is comfortable for me and what I've been
What's
conditioned to
expected
feel.
or condition, yeah.
Exactly. Because
The conditioning is crazy.
I can see where my anxious attachment style will be activated. I can also and anxiety and spiral and need for certainty. I can also completely see how that is based in a scarce, more fearful mentality that used
Mhm.
to be my primary form of operation. And
Yeah.
though it's still instinct for me to reach for that because that feels like the thing that's sure, I'm
Yeah.
actively recognizing when I'm reaching and how to assess, is this coming from a place of presence and
Mhm.
choice, or is this coming from a place of I am defaulting back to anxiety? And a lot of the times it's anxiety because truthfully, I think that the truest kind of love in my mind is mutually chosen, mutually beneficial without there being any
Yeah.
obligations, contracts, or expectations. And
Yes.
that's obviously the utopian
Mhm.
idea to have everything just line up so
In
perfectly.
the
It
world that
does
we live in
require
today. Yeah.
well, and it does relationships require give and take, and there is like an element of sacrifice that is needed in
Yeah.
order to,
Compromise. Yeah.
yeah. But I feel as though what I want for relationships has changed so much over the years and
Mhm.
has expanded past what I thought was possible to the point that if I think about it too hard, freaks me out a little bit because I switch back into that mode of oh no, uncertainty. And then I step back and I think about every uncertain thing that has ever happened to me, whether or not it was positive or negative,
Yeah.
and it was all necessary. It was
Yeah.
all leading me to where I am now, and I'm still being led to where I will be in the future. I don't think there's a point I'm going to get to where I say I'm done and I throw my hands up. That doesn't
Yeah.
feel very me. But that also reminds me that if there's no point where I want to just like pause and throw my hands up, I just never want there to be a point in relationships in which there is like a shut off mode of like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, finally, okay, now I can relax. I think that if you're going to be in partnership with somebody else, you owe it to yourself and to them to show up authentically, whether
Mm.
that's being your best self or not.
Yeah.
But that comes down to values and what
Yeah.
each person values and what they value in terms of progress. Because some people are comfortable figuring out who they are and never progressing in a very grandiose way. Others are not. And I think that is a huge factor when it comes to relationships and when it comes to divorce,
Yeah.
especially growing up in Christian circles where marriage is pushed very early before people know who they are.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me that now people our age who got married 10 years ago,
Yeah.
their brains have developed. Perhaps their values no longer align with their partner. And there
Yeah.
is this reckoning of, do I choose me or do I choose what I've always known? And that's really scary. But I think it's what this time of life is about
Yeah.
collectively. I feel that
Yeah.
energetically.
Yeah. No, I agree with everything you said. And I also think that statistically, women sometimes will grow faster than men when you're thinking about a true hetero relationship, which for me, that's what was really hard is that I felt like I was growing at a pace that exceeded like
What your partner valued.
dramatically what my partner wanted and
Mm-hmm.
was capable of.
Mm-hmm. Just a
That
misalignment at that point.
exactly
It's
because
like
at
no
that
one's
point I'm
doing
like,
anything wrong. It's just like, oh, our paths look differently and neither of us should have to sacrifice what our path looks
totally.
like.
Yeah. And I feel like that's so matter of fact, but it also gets messy because it's just naturally an emotional decision. But I definitely think we need to unpack marriage because I think that we have a lot of things to say. And again, in a forum of like, this is just our opinion. Everyone can keep their opinion as well. We understand that this is like a huge, what did I say? That it is a doctrine that's been around for so long, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is a touchy subject, but I think it's being reevaluated by a lot of people these days. And
There's more space now than ever to have a different kind of relationship. I say that knowing that some people still don't feel safe being in the relationships that they're in. There is
yeah,
still a lot of homophobia, transphobia, racism.
totally.
The list goes on and on. And
Yeah.
also, I do think that this time in life, people are more open than they have been in the past to looking at things differently. This is all very Uranus, planet of rebellion, moving into Gemini
Mm,
communication. And there being this collective movement to alchemize the lessons we have learned
yeah.
through disrupting our security and our values and really solidifying that, and then taking it a step further to be able to exchange ideas that empower one another to think more expansively.
We're also about to be in Gemini season, right?
Yeah, we still
This
got a little bit more of Taurus season.
okay. Can I give you a word for your next
Yes,
single episode?
yes, please. Just like first thing that comes to your head, ready, set,
Lacey.
go. Lacey?
Lacey.
Okay.
Lacey.
Lacey. Okay. I will lace up for
Take
my
that
next
as you will.
episode. And do you know what I am going to do? I'm going to stream of conscious that shit. And I'm just
And
going to
I
see where it
cannot
goes.
wait.
I'm going to see what happens. No guarantees. Thank you, Em, for giving us an update and sharing all of
Yeah.
your wisdom and insight about divorce and confidence and choosing yourself. And I'm just
Thank
so,
you.
I'm so proud of you. I had a moment yesterday with Lindsay where I said, oh my God, oh no. I think I might, do I have to admit something? And she said, what? I said, is Emily funnier than me?
Okay. We
And we
have
did have a
different humor.
discussion. Well, that's what she said. I think your purposeful comedic timing is better, but Emily doesn't have a filter. And I was like, exactly.
No, that's so true. Mine is not like the moment that I have to be funny, I'm not funny.
Well, I don't
But
think that's
mine is
totally
like
true.
aloof. Mine is like I'll just say something and people will crack up and I'm like, what? You know?
Which honestly is, you're not trying to be funny, and that's almost better, which is
It's
why
kinda
I was like,
powerful.
holy shit, have I been living my life being like, I'm the funny one, but really I'm not. But then we were talking about how this is the most you we've ever seen you, the most vocal, the most
Makes me wanna
extroverted,
cry, but yeah.
the most like rooted in yourself, that is the truest
Me
baby
just
Hemi.
cries.
No, it's true though. She's like, so yeah, Emily is funny.
I can't help it.
And not that you haven't always been funny,
No, I
but
haven't
I
always
do
been
think
funny.
yeah, you're right. Okay, so you haven't always been funny. That's totally fine.
There would be me, but it would be like a quarterly joke.
I'm popping in for my quarterly joke. What do you say?
Oh, I really got him this time. See you in Q4.
No, I just love seeing you shine and glow, and I love being able to do life alongside you.
It's so much more interesting being funny. Like, I genuinely, when I was on that horrible date, I have never experienced how much I am the magic.
Is the magic actually there, or is it just me sparkling?
No, literally.
That's a question to ask yourself.
It was me.
It was you.
Thank you.
It's me.
That means, cousins, we love you. Thanks for letting us come in here and be authentic. I mean, you're in our turf, so obviously we're just going to be ourselves.
You don't even have to be here, but you are, so thank you.
Thanks. 26
we love
listeners.
you.
We love
and
you. We will
please
see you.
Give us a nice little rating, 5 stars if you want. Subscribe if you want. If there are other things you want us to unpack, let us know.
Yes.
Let us know. I gotta go. I need to go get a burrito or something.
Yeah, I need food and I need to go walk the dog. Okay, love you.
I love you. Bye.
Bye.
Mwah.